Thanks for joining me in this video. This video will be discussing Startup Visa. Startup Visa is to apply for permanent residency. It's not a work visa. This type of application can be considered one of the most complicated applications. So if you're interested in opening up a business here in Canada, there are other options than Startup Visa. But in this video, I'll describe what Startup Visa is, how long does it take, and what's the process. And if you're still interested, please do give me a call. Startup visas, you have to demonstrate to the officer that you have a qualifying business idea. What this means is you have to present to the officer a very thorough business plan outlining what type of business you want to open up in Canada, who are your clients, have you contacted these clients, perhaps there are potential investors that want to join in with this venture, etc. So it's not a basic business plan where you would outline for yourself, but more so a business plan for the next 5 years. What do you intend to do with this business from the date that it's opened up to about 5 years? If you cannot do projections for 5 years, at the bare minimum, try to do financial projections for the business for the next 3 years. 5 years is recommended. The business idea must be innovative. So that's important criteria. The officer will assess on how creative this business plan is. If you're basically saying, I'm going to do a grocery store, that's fine. However, what makes your grocery store unique? What's different from all the other hundreds and thousands of grocery stores that Canada already has? What's most important as part of the Startup Visa is something called a letter of support. This is the most important part. There are a list of investors that are on the immigration website that you can contact. One of these companies or individuals must provide you a letter of support. What they're essentially saying is that we have read the business plan, we've acknowledged the business plan, we agree that this is an innovative plan, and we support this. Ultimately, they are joining you in this venture. That letter of support is not easy to obtain. In fact, in my 15 years of experience, only a handful of clients were able to secure this. So that's your first question. Are you able to secure this letter of support? Most clients say, whoa, that's too much. I don't even have a business plan, let alone another organization that would support my business plan. Nonetheless, if you do have a letter of support or you've contacted the company and they're willing to support your business, there are other requirements very similar to other permanent residency applications, such as language requirements, educational requirements, fund requirements, etc. Those things can be met. The only one that I again emphasize is the letter of support. Some of the documentation that you want to include besides the business plan are your WES assessment, your resume outlining the numerous years of self-employed experience you have, reference letters to support that you can manage as well as control this type of business. You don't have to have specific business experience in this sector, but you do have to demonstrate, especially in your business plan, that you have business experience. Those are very important for this type of application. Now let's go back to securing this letter of support. If you're not able to do this, there are alternative options. And the other option you may want to consider is a C11 application. A C11 application is a work permit. It's not for permanent residency. So think of it as this. If you're going to jump all the way from being a visitor, for example, to permanent residency, the criteria and the threshold to qualify for that are going to be very difficult as well as rigid. There's a lot of requirements that you have to meet. However, there's a midpoint. You can go from a visit to a work visa. And then from there, you can apply for permanent residency. So that midpoint, you may want to look at my videos where I've done and discussed C11 work permits. That C11 can turn into an entrepreneur PR application or a startup visa application. If you have any questions about this, feel free to give me a call. Thank you, and until next time.